When it comes to fitness or just health in general, the most important thing is your nutrition. Like what you eat is way more important than anything else. And that applies even if you're not a fitness person or even if you don't go to the gym. It's still very important to know what exactly you're consuming. 8 months with no work, a lot of struggle there, lost my visa during this time period. And I was basically going to be illegal in the country, which if you stay in Doha illegally, it's a whole nother problem that you don't want to deal with. So I left Doha and went to Kenya from that point.
Yeah?
A lot of people didn't know that. I even talked to my family about all of that. But yeah, during that period, I left Doha and went to Kenya because I didn't want to come back to Gambia. I was just like, bro, I'm going to figure this out before I go. Crazy. I've had some of the worst experiences in my first years of living in Qatar. From, as you know, living comfortably here and all of that around family, friends, to moving somewhere, living with a bunch of other people in the same room, sharing everything. That was like really crazy experience. The problem came about, which was, okay, I know how to edit the videos, but I have to do the workout myself.
And film yourself.
Myself, go home and edit the video. I have to work. Like, it's still not happening. You know, I can't do all this. I'm losing my brain.
Yeah. To all the viewers that are watching this show right now, this is Lura, the ultimate boss in the building. Today I'm so honored and I'm so grateful to have my colleague, one of my finest nigga back in the days. More the money. I have to introduce this gentleman here with me. He is one of the first heavy lifter who is doing it internationally. Bodybuilder, coach that is doing the greatest things out there in Qatar, who have traveled all over Ukraine, Germany, the United States, took part in a lot of competition in bodybuilding and heavy lifting when it comes to fitness and everything that goes with it. This is more fitness. Can you please reintroduce yourself to the Gambian people more?
Yeah, like my man said, man, he's one of the people that obviously a lot of people watching this, maybe this would be their first time seeing me, but like this guy right here is my brother and we've been friends for a long time now, so he knows very much about the story. I've been living in Qatar for 12 years now. I'm a fitness coach, in person as well as online. I do also a lot of social media content and all that. So yeah, I compete in bodybuilding, travel in different fitness exhibitions and expos around the world, and here we are today, man. Nice to be.
That's Modi Secka
with you again. Yes,
yeah, Modi Secka in the building. Yeah, more fit. Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's your handle on IG.
Yeah.
More. I'm so grateful to have you here. Welcome back home.
Thank you, bro.
How is the weather and how are you feeling in the Gambia right now?
Man, I've been busy. Honestly, it's supposed to be a vacation, but I'm working more than I normally would do back in Qatar, but it's great. That's what I'm here for.
Really?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I've been seeing your engagements and your updates, online. You're trying to, uplift so many people here and trying to bring so many activities with the fitness, the bodybuilding, gym and everything that you are trying to do. I've been seeing the activities. So more on today's podcast, it's going to be a special one, and you are going to help me on the conversation because, I'm not that much oriented on your side, side of feel,
right.
The fitness side, but I'm going to do my level best to give the people a good conversation and a good informative conversation with you more here. So more, first of all, I want you to introduce your people and tell the people where we are born in the Gambia, your origin, your Gambian origin.
So I was born in Gain Sanjal, where it's a little bit after Farafenni.
Farafenni, okay.
Anything about Farafenni. So yeah, that's where I was born and raised, went to school there. And I've also lived in almost everywhere in Gambia. Everywhere from Bundung to Bursubi to Farafenni itself. And all of that,
Yeah, let's talk about your educational background in the Gambia,
Yes, so I went to school there, and from primary school to high school, I went to school in the village there, and after high school is when I went to, I moved to further my education in GTDI.
Okay.
I studied in GTDI for 2 or 3 years, almost 3 years, and after that is when I went to Qatar for.
So what was your course at GTTI?
In GTDI, I studied human resource management.
Human resource management.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I studied in GTTI. I had an advanced diploma there, and right after graduation is when I moved to Qatar in 2012.
Yeah, I want us to talk about you in Gambia before Qatar.
Yes.
Let's talk about your time in the Gambia. So your engagements, your hobbies, and everything that you were engaged on before going to Qatar.
So basically, I always was somehow into like fitness, working out. This is something I've been passionate about. But besides that, just like every other young Gambian, trying to play football, all kind of sports, I was never that great. But yeah, I was. I guess I was a good student academically. And then besides that, it's just like everyone else, trying different sports, football, volleyball, whatever you could just do to, keep being active and all of that. But as far as fitness, yes, I also was working out since when I was here. I always enjoyed it, as you know, over there. That's where I started going to the gym and all of that way back. And then, yeah, that was the normal life, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the transition. Like now, you being that Gambian kid, traveling to Qatar. What was the mission from Gambia to Qatar? What was the mission? Was it a educational visa, or was it?
Okay, so
what was the
like
mission?
I said, for most of us here, we have similar goals. For a lot of us, we just want to, I guess, travel and chase a dream. Even though at that point you might not know what exactly the dream was.
Right, yeah.
So when I was going to Qatar, I went there with a work visa right after finishing my studies here in GTTI. And then, I got there. The work that I initially went there for was construction work, which I never had no experience doing. So it was really difficult for me after I left Gambia, because it's like you left home with living around your family, being comfortable and all that, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a completely new country. You don't speak the language, you don't know anyone, and now you're here doing some construction work, laborer work that you never have done in the past. So that was a really crazy time when I first went there.
Okay, that was the mission there.
Yes.
That was a work.
That's what I went there for.
Yeah. That was in the time of the World Cup, before the World
so
Cup.
This is 10 years, just when they started
constructing their stadiums.
Yes, their stadiums and stuff, and there was a high demand for construction workers, so they were just bringing people from all over the world. And I was one of those people that went there.
Okay, I got you. So now let's talk about you living in Qatar, the living standard there and everything, before you venture into your fitness, everything.
Yeah, so like I said, it was really difficult. It was a lot of us Gambians, Nigerians, people from all over the world that went there through the same construction thing. And then when we first got there, it was crazy, man. I can't even start talking about all the experiences that we went through. A lot of the Gambians left, came back to Gambia. People were going crazy. I've had some of the worst experiences in my first years of living in Qatar, from, as you know, living comfortably here and all of that, around family, friends, to moving somewhere, living with a bunch of other people in the same room, sharing everything. That was really crazy experience.
Crazy. Now, you maturing into fitness and everything, the gym and everything. Let's talk about that now more.
So, like I said, I always was into training and stuff. So when I went to Qatar, throughout this whole time of working construction and going through all those difficult times, the gym was the one thing that I look forward to. At least after all that craziness, let me just go and work out and forget about the world. So that was how it was for me. People get stressed out and go to the bar and drink and do whatever they do to get away. For me, the gym was my only thing that I had left that I was looking forward to at the end of every day. So I still kept on working out throughout all the time. And eventually I stopped doing that construction work and I started working in a mall there where I was selling fitness equipment, shoes, anything that has to do with sports. And there is when I started meeting personal trainers and people who are into fitness who would come to the mall and buy equipment from where I was working. So that's when I started, having some information about being a personal trainer, where to get certification and all this. And then I just started making friends with some of these personal trainers and asking information about how I could get into that industry.
Then you ventured into the industry. How did you start?
So at this point, I've already been working out for many years, and people would find me working at that shop, and they were like, "What are you doing here? You should work somewhere else. You should do this. You should do that." They saw something, I guess, that I didn't see. So after that kind of like opened the third eye for me, and I was like, okay, there's a possibility. Because in Gambia, I didn't even know that you can like make a living out of being a personal trainer. We just go to the gym to go there because we enjoyed it. So after I found that out, I just like got contacts from different trainers and different schools, saved up a little bit of money. And then I registered into some of the fitness courses, studied exercise and nutrition there, got my certification. And after that, I resigned from that job from the mall. And then I applied to work in the gym, which was still difficult because at the time, I believe there wasn't any Gambian personal trainer in Qatar. I must have been like the only one. So it was tough for me to get into that industry.
Okay.
So at the mall where I was working, I was already almost being promoted to a managerial level, so I was making good progress there. But this is my passion, so I still just left that job and went over to the gym. But when I went to the gym, they had to start me also from scratch again. Even though I had all these years of experience in training, they're like, no, we cannot hire you to be a coach directly. You can only be a cleaner. So I went from
like seriously.
Yeah, so I went from almost being a manager at the shop, because everybody knew me. I worked there for 2 years. I was the highest performing staff or one of them, to now leaving that job and going somewhere else, starting as a cleaner again. But I accepted because I just wanted to get in the industry, because I knew I would work really hard to build myself up. So I was like, cool, I'll take the cleaner job. So that's how I started into the gym.
Yeah. Now from cleaning, then you level up.
Yeah. So, man, it's been a long journey and a lot of struggles, man. So from that cleaner thing, now I left my job from the mall, started working in the gym. But like, bro, I left construction. I'm just happy to be in the mall, mixing up with the girls. You know, life is good. Now I left that job to go to work at the gym. After I left the job and go to the gym, I was like, okay, this is a new start again. And very shortly after that, they shut down the gym.
Oh,
now really? Because the owner of the gym wasn't paying the rent, and we were in a football stadium. We rented some part of the football stadium where the gym was. I hope I'm not giving wrong information. That's what we were told. That the guy wasn't paying the rent. So one morning I went there to work. Arrived there, the whole place is full of police. They said, everyone pick your things and left. I left that place, never went back. This is after I already leave my comfortable job. They kick us out of that building. Now I'm in the middle of nowhere. Because the pride thing, like some of my friends were saying, you should just go back to the store and tell them you want to work. I was like, bro, I don't want to go back. You know. So I stayed in Doha for like 8 months without a job.
Whoa.
And that was really crazy. Now I lost my visa because I'm not under a company. And there you have to be under a company because your residency should be attached to a company. Whoa. So I left the shop and I wasn't even transferred to the gym yet. They shut down the gym. Now I'm in the middle of nowhere. 8 months with no work. A lot of struggle there, lost my visa during this time period. And I was basically going to be illegal in the country, which if you stay in Doha illegally, it's a whole nother problem that you don't want to deal with. So I left Doha and went to Kenya from that point.
Yeah?
A lot of people didn't know that. I even talked to my family about all of that. But yeah, during that period, I left Doha and went to Kenya because I didn't want to come back to Gambia. I was just like, bro, I'm going to figure this out before I go back. I'm already in here. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to figure it out. So when I went to Kenya, stayed there and talked to some people that I knew in Doha, and then they were able to like get me another visa. So I went back to Doha and start fresh again and go through the whole paperwork process to get my residency again and all of that. So yeah, that's how that went, man.
Yeah, now let's talk about you venturing into international competitions, you having the links, you know, brandings. Let's talk about first the branding side of you. You know, looking at you right now, you are one of the most branded person in terms of your field, and you know when you talk about that side. Let's talk about the branding. How did you get the knowledge, and how did you get the information on how to get branded and you know get that?
Yeah. So after I went back to Doha from Kenya, I started fresh again, working with that company and all of that. What happened with fitness? A lot of people, they have this passion and they get into fitness. I guess not only fitness, in every field. Some people, they're hungry until they start eating. Once they start eating, they feel comfortable. So in the beginning, I wanted to be a personal trainer. After I became a personal trainer, for most people, they would just stop there and just continue to work in the gym, and that would be it because they reached their goal. For me, it was like, I want to be a personal trainer, but that's not the end goal. So after I became a personal trainer, I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? So I kept on working. Obviously, seeing the opportunity that comes with being on social media, I also started working on the social media side of things, and yeah, just doing the whole social media thing, and also thinking like, okay, if I get into more competitions, instead of just staying in one gym training people, let me apply myself and just try to grow as much as I could.
Yeah.
So after I worked in the gym for a few years, I stopped working in the gym because at that point I already kind of built my name, people knew me and all that. So I started working for myself.
Okay.
Because if you work in a gym, people come, pay the gym, you train them, the gym pay you a percentage.
Okay.
But if you have enough clients, you don't need the gym because most of the people, they already have
That is
gyms.
where the branding is important
Yes.
now. Yeah,
Very
you're branding
important.
yourself,
Yes.
online.
Because a lot of personal trainers, if they leave the gym they're working at, they will not make any money because
Yeah, I
people
got you.
don't know them.
Yeah.
But if you are known, people really don't care about the gym. They just know you. They come for you to train them in that gym. So if you leave, they will follow you wherever you go because they have gyms in their homes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started working privately with people who have gyms in their homes. So I
They're
don't
in
work for the
Qatar.
gym anymore. Yes. So when people pay me, the money is mine 100% because I'm not working with any gym.
Yeah, I feel.
So through doing that, I also try to like think of, okay, what's the next level? Which was for me going online. So now I start creating online courses where I have clients in the US, Europe, different parts. So now I'm not only limited to one gym or only limited to Qatar. I can work with people from around the world.
Yeah.
Which also like opened another door of opportunity, So it was that just using social media, just thinking.
Now you start creating content by doing that.
Yes.
Like you training people, you have to film yourself
Yes.
and directing on how to do it and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of trainers I know only focus on the gym they're working at, and that's that. So for me, it was like, okay, I would say I have one of the better YouTube channels or Instagrams as far as personal trainers in Qatar because I've been doing it for a long time now.
Yeah,
Also it comes with a lot of investing. As you know, creating content is not cheap. It's not easy. So I had to invest in a lot of like camera equipment.
Yeah.
For many years, I paid videographers, photographers to take my content, and I wasn't even making money.
You once contacted me back in the days for us to do something, but then the distance could not let us, do. You were to like, for me to handle your editing and stuff for you when you film. But then I know it was really kind of not easy for you to be sending content here from Qatar to the Gambia and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, but then how was the expenditure?
So in the beginning it was very expensive for me to be active on social media because you can't just post one video every month and expect for it to grow. So I put out a lot of content which I don't know how to edit the videos. I'm paying a lot to have these videographers. They would charge me like maybe $10,000 is just for one
video,
one Instagram reel or something
wow.
like that. And I wasn't making any money. So I would bring them to the gym to film this one video and post it, and then what next? I have to get money again to get another video. So I figured this is not going to work because I'm not putting out enough content to be able to grow.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll just take a videography course. So I went to school for videography.
Wow.
Did the whole course, but then another problem came about, which was, okay, I know how to edit the videos, but I have to do the workout myself.
And film yourself.
Myself, go home and edit the video. I have to work. It's still not happening. I can't do all this. I'm losing my brain.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I just made an agreement with one guy. Like I reached out to you.
Yeah.
I talked to another guy, Indian guy, really good guy, man, helped me out. He was like, okay, I'll take care of your content. So every weekend he will come to the gym. We stay in the gym for like 3-4 hours. And shoot
we do the
a whole
filming
bunch
and,
of videos, and he'll go home with the footage. So throughout the week, he'll be sending me videos for me to post. And then I was just paying him monthly instead of per video.
Whoa.
And that guy really helped me. He was one of the guys who was teaching in this place where I went for the videography course. So he really helped me out. And then, that's just what I do. And now when I travel places, like the last time I was in the US for this event, I went there, I had a videographer there with me for the time.
Okay.
Now also in Gambia, before I came, I arranged with one of the guys here. So he's been shooting my content for 2 weeks. So wherever I'm going to, I'll just arrange someone there. But when I'm in Doha, this guy helps me out.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the business side of your profession, like right now. Now, how do you describe your side of profession now?
So, in terms of, I guess, business, finances, for me now, at this point, I have people that I work with, I work with a selected few of my clients that I've been with for a long time that are committed. I train only those few people as far as training them in person.
Okay.
Other than that, I just do online stuff. Like I have online training programs that people can
subscribe to, yeah.
I use a mobile application that I can upload all my clients' training programs.
Okay.
So everything is pre-recorded because it's about time.
Yeah, pre-recorded on video, on visual?
The whole program is pre-recorded with videos of myself explaining every single
every step, right, from step
all
one.
the details as if I was here just talking to you.
Yeah.
So they subscribe, they have access to the program, and after that, the only thing I need to do is to like keep
upgrade
up with them,
upgrading,
reply to emails, messages, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got you.
So the hard part with that in the beginning was payments. Because online payments sometimes difficult, especially in Qatar. They don't accept all kinds of online payments, and most of my audience are in the US.
Okay.
Mainly US and the UK.
Okay.
So I was struggling with that, but that's when I registered my company in the US.
Okay.
Where most of my clients are, so transactions are easier. So that
easier.
Really
now let's talk about two things that I really want to know, and maybe people that wanna venture into fitness want to know. Now, in competitions, do you ever perform in any competition or compete in any mega?
Yes, as a part of me trying to build my brand, competing, it was like the way, because once you compete, you get a chance to be on a big stage where all people who love fitness and stuff would connect with people.
Yeah.
So I started doing small local competitions within Qatar, some powerlifting competitions and all that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I did some competitions like internationally. I competed in Las Vegas, in Ukraine, in Germany, and this year, hopefully, I'll be able to compete again. But that also comes with a lot because just me individually. I had some sponsors, thank God, but normally that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay your air tickets, your hotels, your food, the whole nine. So that's very expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
But you have to invest in order to grow. That's my
to grow. Yeah. Now, more like you are an inspirational to the Gambian youths. Coming back to the Gambia, let's talk about in a broad way. Like you've been that ghetto youth, from the Gambia, with zero knowledge about what you are engaged into right now. Qatar, you're building your name, building your career. Let's talk about the inspiration, the motivation behind all that. Because you don't normally see a Gambian, a normal Gambian, venturing into your side of your field that you are doing. Let's talk about the motivation, and everything behind it. Back in Gambia here, people will be like, more legi fitness la def, and all of they am halis. Is that gonna give you wealth, or is that gonna give you that success in life? I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So obviously, even my own family doesn't really understand the whole thing. They're like, you're supposed to be, But definitely for me. It has changed my life because obviously, like I said, for a lot of us, just the goal would be when you're young, you want to go to Europe or US or wherever to hustle. I get to go around the world doing what exactly I love. I have my freedom. And just for me to be able to live outside of Gambia and not have to work for a company, not have to have a boss or anything like that. I do my own thing. I travel whenever I want and all of that. So in that regard, I think for me that alone is worth it because my ultimate goal in life is just freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
Because I don't care how much
to be
money,
financially free too.
Yeah. Obviously, when we talk about freedom, I'm not talking about freedom and be broke and just sit up at home, but freedom really means to be able to do whatever you want when you want to do it. So for me to be able to say I have that freedom means also I'm able to take care of my finances, because if I wasn't able to do that, I can't be free. I can't travel. I can't do anything. So that's the ultimate goal. But as far as making money, I think if you have a passion for something, you should go for it. And definitely fitness is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Maybe not in Gambia as much, but everywhere else in the world when it comes to gyms. And you don't have to be a bodybuilder to get into this industry. I know a lot of people making huge money just doing content for other fitness people.
Yeah, I got you.
Clothing, modeling, social media, sponsorships. There is so many things you can do.
You really are educating me right now, giving me knowledge on the side of everything. Now, the other question I have for you is that you've been traveling, you've been in the US, you've been in Germany, like you said, you've been in Ukraine. So why did you still choose to be in Qatar? While talking about your customers and your clients, most of your clients been in the US and the UK. Why didn't you relocate to the US just to make things easier? And you have more opportunities in the US in your field than in Qatar. I don't know how.
100%. Like, that's a very good question. And every time I travel places, I meet Gambians, and a lot of them would think maybe, why are you not staying here or something,
Yeah.
And I do think about it sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, bro, I just need to get out of here because what I'm doing is not mainly here.
Yeah.
When it comes to fitness, it's mainly in the US. That's where the whole thing happens, or most things happen. But it's not as easy as, sometimes we think to relocate after living in a place for 12 years. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very, very deep-rooted. I'm deeply rooted in Qatar.
Yeah.
And I've built a lot there. I have a lot of things going on there. I have family, I have friends. It's like home, man.
Yeah.
I know more about Qatar than I know about Gambia right now. And also, I'm not getting any younger. So, sometimes the other thing is, I don't want to live in any country where I can be potentially illegal. You see what's happening now in the US with this Donald Trump thing, trying to kick people out. I don't want to live under that pressure.
Yeah, I understand.
So I would rather live in Qatar and travel to the US. I can stay for 6 months at a time, do my thing there, do my business, and I can leave.
Yeah.
But I would never want to just move there and overstay and break the laws. I don't want to do that because I'm already able to go whenever I want to go and handle my business and leave. So I just think for me right now, I don't know, it's probably not worth it to move to a whole new country and go, mostly with the paperwork thing.
Yeah.
For one, I will never be illegal anywhere. I don't want to live under the pressure because I already have the freedom of going wherever I want. So, okay, if I would have the necessary documents to where I can go today and do exactly what I want to do, okay. But if I move now to US, my visa is a visit visa, which I can only stay for 6 months at a time. So if I stay longer than that 6 months, now I'm illegal. There are certain things I cannot do. You cannot buy this. You cannot have insurance. You can't do this. You can't go to that hospital, whatever. I don't want to live like that. I'm comfortably
Yeah, now let's talk about the other side of your journey. That is like the nutrition, few educational tips that you normally give on your platform. Can you give, because I've been following you a little bit. Sometimes you do teach people on the type of diet, your balanced diet, the type of food you eat when you are training, all that. You all learned that from the course you did from the fitness.
Yes. So when it comes to fitness or just health in general, the most important thing is your nutrition. Like what you eat is way more important than anything else, and that applies even if you're not a fitness person or even if you don't go to the gym. It's still very important to know what exactly you're consuming because that's what your body operates from. But when it comes to fitness specifically, if you're going to the gym, working out whole day, every day, 7 days a week, and your diet is not right, you'll never get the result that you're looking for.
I got you.
You're just basically wasting your time. And being that in Gambia, I guess, for myself, I can speak on my own experience. When I was here, it was almost impossible to follow a proper diet for bodybuilding because I have to eat whatever is there.
On the table for you.
I can't just like now I have full control of what I eat. I measure my food. I know exactly where to shop. I know how much of carbs, protein, this, that. I can manage that because I'm eating alone with my own thing. But when you're eating with the whole family, especially living in Gambia, it's probably not possible. So. And when I come here and go to gyms, I can directly see the difference in how people look. The guys that live here, how their bodies look compared to someone who is following a certain kind of diet. I can look at them and see.
And you can see the difference and
I can see the difference. I can see the difference in the way the muscle look. And the way the whole physique look. Because it's I know this guy is very strong. He's working really hard. He has a lot of muscles already also. But the look is different. There's something missing, which is the diet. I can just see it, from a distance.
Yeah. Now, what are your plans for the Gambia? You've been in the fitness field and you're growing globally, and it's good that you coming back. I love that side of you coming back. At least spending a little bit time here with the people and checking up, family and just linking up with your colleagues that are in the same field with you. What are your next plans for the Gambia?
Yeah. So The last time I was here was like 4 years ago, which hopefully will not happen again. That's way too long.
Yeah.
And over these 4 years, like I've been everywhere around the world, and if you go on my social media, you will, like, a lot of Gambians would message me like, I didn't know you're Gambian once they saw me here, because I've been away for so long, and all of my content is outside of Gambia. So if you look through my social media, you will never know I'm Gambian. Or even though I have the Gambian flag on there, people don't still get it. I don't know. But yes, so I think it's very important for me to be here now after 4 years. And one of the things that I've been doing is like just visiting different gyms, creating content with some of the guys here. Yesterday, we organized a competition on the beach here, gave out some prizes. It was fun. Everybody came out. A lot of people came out there and participated. It was really nice. Also did an appearance on GRTS and Gambia Talent Promotion, did an interview there. Just trying to do as much social media platforms as possible and connect with the people. I think this is where it starts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's talk about Mo's life in Qatar. How do you handle ladies, the girls more? Let's talk about the other side of you.
Hey, but
how do you handle your clients when they are ladies, when they are
I had my fair share of that whole life before I was married. Now I'm married, so
really?
I'm solid.
You solid?
Hey, I'm like
how did you handle girls then? You know?
I just did what I had to do, man. That's how life works. You're a young man, you're around girls, you have a girlfriend here and there, whatever, you do that life. But
but still now you don't have that problem on your IG and like, you know.
Yeah, obviously it comes with it. Like I'm out here, if you go on my social media, 90% of my content is me shirtless. You know, so that attracts a lot of the wrong people sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, but you know, you just have to focus on business.
Yeah. Oh, you say business. I saw you're on your business.
You just have to focus on business, bro.
Yeah.
My wife is the manager.
He's the manager. She's the manager.
Yeah, so she makes sure I'm focused on business.
Okay, mashallah. Now, how is life in Qatar doing for you right now?
Life is good, man. Alhamdulillah, I can't complain, you know. I went to Qatar with zero work experience, nothing. I went there with like a laborer contract with barely any money. So the life I'm living now and the level I'm at is like a dream, you know.
Yeah.
That's something I never thought of in a million years, to be just able to like travel around the world at my own. I'm not like working for a government or company or nothing like that. It's all just me doing whatever I want to do. Like for me, when I was living Gambia, again, I left Gambia with nothing. Went to Qatar. From there, I'm able to go to places that I never thought of going, because the original dream would be I want to go to the US, live in Gambia. But that never happened until I went to Qatar. And from there, like, I've been to maybe 25 different cities around the world. I've been to all the major cities in the world.
Yeah, mashallah.
And yeah, that's great. So I can't complain, man. Yeah. I went to Qatar with just, when I arrived in Qatar, I had $20 on me. That's it. $20, that same $20 I used to pay the taxi from the airport to the accommodation, and then I had nothing.
Oh, too bad.
So, thank God.
Thank God, yeah. You're grateful, man. Yeah. More like, how is family? How is family here back in the Gambia? How are they feeling with you?
Family is good, you know. Just like I said in the beginning, they probably don't really fully understand what I'm doing. They just know that they don't even probably understand the whole thing. Like they just know I work in gyms, in fitness. They see me on YouTube, but they don't fully understand it. Just like most Gambians, I think, like you just said, do you even make money with this? How do you make? They don't understand the whole thing. But overall, what's important is that I'm there for them. They're there for me. We're family. We're happy. That's what matters. Yeah.
Mo, it's good to have you on the podcast. And this is the ultimate podcast. Like, you know, it's another level with me. You know, on the podcast today. And normally, I usually have the Gambian artists here talking about their career and stuff. But then it's another chapter for me, you know, having you. I'm so grateful. And to all the followers of Mo, please try and subscribe to our channel and watch out for our content. You know, he's a brother. I normally call him Mo the Money, but now he looks like the real money.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah, more like the first time I saw you online, you know, saw your like your body, I was like, yo, Mo, wait, Adam. Yeah, I was so happy, I was so happy for you, Like, looking at you, I was seeing you in a different level, and that's the whole dream, That's the whole dream, and that was the whole dream we had together. When we sit, we normally dream of having, big things, doing big things in the world. So I'm so happy for you, So it's good having you here on the podcast.
Thanks very much,
we are
man.
going to reconnect.
Thank you very much, of course.
But, I'm not happy now because recently I had you talk about, having content creators from other people. You would have sent me a visa, bro, or a visa ticket.
Yeah,
or a ticket. I come meet
I
you
know
there,
you
bro.
have your own thing going on, man. We can move a little around. The Gambia needs you. But the guy I'm working with here right now, hopefully I'll be able to have him to come to Doha and we can work full time.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, you're a big dog, man. Nobody can hire you, bro.
You're welcome.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
very
you so
much.
much,
And I'm
bro.
happy to be here. Obviously, I'm proud of you just as much.
Yeah.
I met this guy almost 15 years ago, and since then he's been doing his thing, and you can see this, the progress.
You know what? What's up, man?
The
In
results
Bunung,
speaks
it
for
was
itself.
kind of a side hustle in Bunung. Doing it little by little. Normally, how it started.
Of course.
Coming to you guys there on the internet, downloading softwares, downloading music, beats, instruments, connecting, formatting computers.
Right.
It was just a little by little. But then, as we are growing, we're learning. Uplifting, each other in the Gambia. So more wins, man. More wins,
Thank you,
Yeah.
bro. Thank
Respect,
you.
bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.